Hello, my name is Fazekas, and my cultural presentation is over the poems of Quin. Quin lived in China from the year 365 to 427 AD. That's after death. This period of time in China was known as the Northern and Southern Dynasty era, which lasted from about 386 to 589 after death. Northern China was under the Xianbei tribe, Xianbei. Not exactly sure how to say it. But southern China was under Confucian followers or believers in Confucius. And they're mostly Buddhist, and they learned the way of the monk. So, yeah. And, okay, onto food. I love Chinese food. Today you got orange chicken, fried rice, all that good stuff, you know. But mostly back then, they ate rice. Shock. Rice was eaten since about 5000 BC in China. It was their first grain ever farmed in China. And eventually, the ancient Chinese civilization turned their grain, rice, into long noodles. In China, tea grows naturally. It grows in the wild, so they naturally drank a lot of tea, green teas, wild teas, and all that good stuff. So none of the orange chicken stuff we know today was in the Chow era. Okay, language. Pretty cool stuff. The Chinese actually invented Mandarin. The same Mandarin language that was created over 5,000 years ago is still in use today. It has very complicated and clever writings and drawings. Not drawings, but writings and letters. Their letters look like drawings. Very cool stuff. And like I said, that Mandarin that was used in the Chow era is still in play today, and is one of the oldest languages known to man. Art. The Chinese were known for many different arts, actually. The ancient Chinese actually invented paper, which is pretty cool if you ask me, because paper is everywhere today, even though it's kind of losing the effects of paper because we're going to technology age. But so art, they invented paper, so a lot of art goes on paper, you know what I'm saying? And you look up ancient paintings, ancient Chinese painting, it's beautiful. It's of women with their long hairs just standing there. They had many potteries, pots, bronze, all kinds of good stuff. The Chinese music scene in the Quin era was mostly folk songs. They had a lot of poets, folk songs. And the ancient Chinese also invented a tuned bell. Ding, ding, ding. At the bell, they tuned that. That was way before the Chow era, though. So a little before Chow's time, and a little after little after Chow passed away, they invented the tuned drum. So all the music you have today with the tuned drums and was invented in ancient China. It was after Chow's period of time, but not too far along. The religion in ancient Chinese, or Chow Quin's era, while he wrote the Chow Quin poems, the main religions were Buddhist. The Buddhists were monks, became monks. Many people took vows of silence. Buddhists basically believe in peace. They have many gods. And Confucius, they believe the beliefs of Confucian, or that sounded wrong, not confusion. They were Confucianists. Confucius was a person who believed in peace and all that good stuff as well. Okay, on to the next part. And the next part would be education. Chinese, very smart people. It was very revolutionary era that Chow Quin lived in. But formal education was mostly for the rich. It's mostly for the rich, and only about 20% of people, probably not even that, had the money to go to school. So it left Chinese population, the ancient Chinese population, was probably around 80% illiterate, which is crazy to think of today, because most to the world that we know in America can read and write. They had government schools which were called Gucho, Guoxue. I think I would just pronounce Gucho, were government schools, and they also had local schools that were called Jianzhu, Xiangxue. I don't speak Chinese. I don't speak Mandarin. I mean, not frequent in Mandarin language, so I'm probably pronouncing them wrong, and I'm sorry for that. And education in China also had civil service exams, or like placement exams, which was called the Keju, Keju, which is pretty much placement exams or search programs. They take a test and it place you into your field of work, which is pretty cool. Gender roles were not so cool, however, because today's American society, the Chinese today are still very biased and prefer men over women, especially with the population control and all that. But yeah, ancient Chinese families in the Chao era, they always favored sons over daughters, and women were basically had one role in society, and which was to produce, or to breed, to carry on the Chinese, which was extremely important. But they had no power. The men were always in the power of society. Men were the kings. They ran everything. Women were nothing to them. If you wanted a son, your woman had a wife, cut the woman's head off. Brutal stuff. Politics and economics. Okay, economics. The Chinese used bronze coin money in the Chao Quin era. Ancient Chinese also invented paper money, which is very cool stuff. And politics were focused on Buddhism or Confucian beliefs in his era, in Chao Quin's era. And he lived in the ancient Chinese civilization. They had many different dynasties, and Chao Quin happened to live in the Jin dynasty. Yep, the ruler was Jin, the family of Jins, and that's about it. Thank you very much. Once again, no Fazekas, and my cultural representation was over Chao Quin. Thank you.